You guys haven't been able to hear me. That's funny. Uh, hey guys, how's everyone? You guys totally haven't been able to hear me for a while. That's always perfect. My bad, I forgot I had muted myself. But yeah, so, I went and did the Yazon stuff off camera like I said I was gonna do. And as it turns out, I just had to I just had to finish this mission to unlock accelerated new type research for literally everyone. This is what leads to the good end for, or the perfect end for the Titans. Perfect in air quotes. I thought I actually had to complete the, like, chain for it to happen. So I haven't saved it yet. If you guys want, I can reload and we can watch me do the Yazon missions again. Or we could just go along with what it's already at. It's really up to you guys. I don't care too much. The only difference between the Yazon and the Biren missions, from what I did, is the Lala mission. This one, actually. Amuro had completely bodied Lala in like 30 seconds and killed her. So I had to do it like twice, just to get to the point where Amuro didn't murder her very quickly. But it was insane. I was very impressed. But yeah, I figure we'll do Titans in the beginning today, then maybe move over to Zeon, try to get the perfect ending with Zeon so I can switch between them. Because right now we did the perfect ending for Camille in the last one. Yeah, like, I had started the match, Lala appears, and I'm like fighting two Rick Doms. By the time I kill the Rick Doms, Amuro's already killed her. I was like, really? And then, like, in the next one, I tried to do that, and it took me like 3 minutes just to chase her down. And Char got away. It was very sad. But it's fine now. We haven't even done the basic of Yazon, though, which I find funny. We probably should do that today. And, you know, make sure Biren survives and possibly do some new type research. We have completely finished Lila, though, which is kind of fun because she doesn't get an accelerated path, unlike Mauer, who totally does. Where are you, Mauer? There you are. We finished her storyline, too. Or, no, we didn't, actually. So should we keep it, or should we... Do you guys want me to roll back and watch me do the, like, 5 or so stages that I had left? I think it was this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then these two, so 7 instead. Genesis is done. It's been over for 2 years now. Yeah, they're the same missions that I did with Biren, but I can always roll back. It's... Oh, with Crossrays, we don't know. The last update yesterday or the day before was the last one. We got Master Asia, we got Domon, we got a couple of other people. So if there are more DLC, we can hope, but we don't know. It is doing a lot better than Genesis did, but that's about as much as we can get there, I think. So we got one for keep, one for rollback. Anyone else want to chime in? Oh yeah, it's the exact same. So there's the Grand Canyon where you unlock the GM, Grand Canyon where you unlock the GM, then Jaburo Underground, Jaburo 2, Jaburo Underground, Jaburo 2. Yeah, that's why I had originally just done it off camera, because I had figured it would be exactly the same. I'd actually thought Yazon, Lila, and Biren were all the same, but Lila had a slightly different storyline. She got to skip a lot of the stuff, like she had Jaburo and that stuff, but straight to Solomon or straight to Aboku. No Lala surviving in that one. After this game, I don't know. I was thinking maybe like Lost War Chronicles or Super Robot Wars, maybe some Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Like, I have literally every Gundam game except for the 2 on the PC 95 or 98. So I could do almost anything. I mean, I have quite a few of the Yu-Gi-Oh games too, though. I am so far out of meta, it's kind of crazy. I mean, the last one I played was on the PS2, but... And as far as uploading goes, I won't say anything, but keep an eye out tomorrow morning, yeah? Yeah, so... What do you guys want to do today? Do we want to do some more Jared? Do we want to save Capricorn? Do I want to finish up Buren? Or do some new type accelerated Buren? Maybe Rosamia and use the God Plant, or, you know, kill Shirako and... Or not Shirako, kill Emma and Henkin as Yazan. We could do that. No, Rekoa kills her in this one, doesn't he? Hey, Alphamo. Alformo. Okay, so I guess Buren then with the new type accelerated research? Or do we want to do Rosamia and actually be a new type? Because she starts with a God Plant, but she gets the Psycho Gundam pretty quick. So we get to do the first start of Jabro, and we also get Mauer. So this here is Rosamia. In the anime, it made to look like Camille's sister that wasn't actually his sister, so it was very awkward. But we're in a God Plant, because the first time you see her is actually using a God Plant on the back of a Zanzibar. Her and Buren. Buren, that's where you find out Buren's kind of a dick. The God Plant is one of my favorite mobile suits, though, in this game, because you can do this. Yeah, Amuro's here, by the way. Oh, god damn it. I would have dodged that if it wasn't for 4, damn it. Oh, well. Yeah, this thing is so good. I usually, instead of using the Hammurabi with Yazan, I almost always use the God Plant. So you can do shit like that. Yes, they did. He tried to. He did everything from developing mobile suits to developing ships. Like, the Jupitrus was his idea. But sadly, he died too early. Though, I don't think he would have actually made his own company, because he was basically setting himself up to be Lord of the Earth. So, I don't think he would have got that far. Oh yeah, the white and yellow. The, AEUG coloring for the God Plant is actually pretty cool, too. It's white and red. Though I don't know if anyone in the story mode, at least, gets the God Plant as the AEUG. Though I kind of wish they did. God damn. I've taken more damage from 4 than I have from the enemy. So besides the Vist Foundation, almost nobody knew about the Lapis box. That's honestly because it was stupid and no one cared. But I do have a copy of Never Ending Tomorrow. I don't know if it's the English or the Japanese version. It's been a while. But yeah, not very many people knew about the Lapis box because no one really cared. Like, maybe one of the prime ministers or one of the aides of the prime minister of the Federation would have. But that last clause did nothing to the world. And so, like, it didn't really affect anything. But yay, we got a Psycho Gundam. If we do her normal route, we could actually get the Psycho Gundam Mark II. But I don't know if we will or not.
I'll kill anyone who wants to make the sky fall.
Yeah, so the thing with the Lapis box is, like, yeah, okay, so they said that a new kind of human being. It's just vague enough to where it doesn't matter. Because, well, they didn't mean new types. New types was something that Zeon Daikon had made up. It's like if they had called them Kontals instead, because they do Kontal, or they're part of Kontalism. Like, unless somebody had connected Kontalism and new types, like, it doesn't matter.
I won't let you bring the sky down.
Oh, that is Buren. I thought that was 4.
I won't let you bring the sky down.
That's kind of funny. I can't get it to transform, though. Like, I was really hoping that the Lapis box would be like, you know, a new unicorn or something like that. Something way more definitive. But instead it's just like, oh hey, this vaguely worded legal document. That's not even legal document because it could have been faked. I need to talk a bit quieter. It did not look good on the mixer. My bad. Yeah.
This is the end. This is the end.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm done with the Psycho Gundam. Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of the unicorn and how powerful they are, and how it basically became super robot magic. I'm even more not happy about the Phoenix, because new type fireballs should not be a thing. But we kind of have to accept that it's a thing. Yeah, that is also a thing, is it's like, so nobody made another copy of this plaque. They made literally only one, and the guy who had developed it probably on Earth, because they didn't really have a space industry at the time, hadn't even kept a copy of it. Like, no one else knew, really. Though it is kind of vaguely interesting to me that it's like, oh hey, so this plaque is considered legal for reasons. Does that mean I could just write whatever the fuck I want on a plaque and say I found it? And it was made like 70 years ago? And like I can be God King of the Federation because this plaque said so?
I'm coming back now.
The New and the Nightingale, I don't really dislike them. Because, well, the thing with the New and the Nightingale is that they're kind of they're kind of garbage. Just a little bit. The High New is the absolute best of its point, but it runs out of energy so quickly that it has really low operation times, and if it hadn't been Axis, it probably would be screwed over. And the Nightingale's too big. It's a giant target. Like, it's quite literally mobile armor sized. You know, this would be one of the ones where I probably should have actually brought the Psycho Gundam, but why the hell are they using GMs? Yeah. It's like, with the Nightingale, a lot of the issues with the thing... Oh, hey, look, Gabfully. But... It's like, yeah, it might be powerful, but you can hit it with basically anything, so... It's not as powerful as you want, it's just a large ship. And as far as another unicorn... I don't know, I think that legend's kind of played out. Like, you got the lion, you got the unicorn, and then the phoenix that comes back to life. So I think you'd have to do, like, one of the dragons, maybe like, Balakormith or something. One of the Welsh gods. And then, or you could do something funny, like name it after one of the Knights of Charlemagne. Just, you know, to annoy the Fate crew. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could name it after one of the IBO demons, but what fun is that? IBO's already done that. But wasn't the whole thing about the legend not naming it after a demon? It was just how the Japanese people had spelt it. That it was spelled like the demon. Because the unicorn and banshee were named after that plaque, that French plaque that I forget the name of, that's in the Louvre. The Nightingale is a mobile armor. Yeah, almost every game considers the Nightingale a mobile armor. They might say it's a mobile suit on the wiki, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, the Turtle Gundam. Or better yet, the Oogway Gundam. Because, you know, it's a turtle, so it's going to be an Oogway. Yeah, it's named after a demon, but That's just how they spelt it.
I'm coming back now.
Because, you know, it was named by a Japanese person, not by an English speaker. It's just how it is. I mean, hey, that's how the B Gundam came about.
Rizamia unit launching.
They painted a ball to look like a Gundam, and then everyone thought that that was the Gundam because it was absolutely giant and murdering people, but no, it's just a ball.
I found you, AU.
All right, we're heading out. Don't fall behind.
Roger.
They do the
As I expected. AEUG
They do the
is
God
missing.
plant so well. It's like, yeah, I'm a fighter craft. I'm not like the Zeta where I'm a mobile suit that can fly. I'm a legit just fighter craft that can turn into a mobile suit for some reason. Oh, hey, there's a big tray here.
There.
You fell for it.
Die. What? Say your prayer.
Die.
I know why they're doing this. It's like a lot of this is just redoing old maps from the Federation as a Titans player, but it's so weird fighting like ground Gundams and stuff. Oh wow, they finally hit me.
There. I did it.
Die.
Crush you. Crush you.
I mean, when Double O comes up in Crossrays, that's literally my plan, like,
Crush you.
peace through nuclear fire in high energy kinetic bombardments.
Say your prayer. This is the end.
It's like, yeah, stab me while I'm on the ground, why don't you? Oh god, I wish the Zeta Zaku was in this.
I won't let you bring the sky down. Say your prayer.
You're not getting away.
This is the end.
What are you doing?
You're the one who's standing beside me, literally whirlwinding
Bring the sky down.
this enemy ship.
There. Die.
This is the end.
I did it. I'm coming back now.
Yep, definitely a new type. Can confirm. I totally didn't just almost murder my ally doing that.
I'll kill anyone who wants to make the sky.
Whatever you say, miss. Whatever you say.
I found you, AU.
Well, just because you can pilot a mobile suit doesn't mean you can become an engineer. You kind of have to know a bit more than just field repairs and what they teach pilots. But
I can't just
Amuro
nothing while the
joined back up to stop Char. And then, you know, died. He didn't really have time to do other things. He could have gave up, but he wanted to make sure Char died so he could feel better about Lala's death. So the reason why Hello Kitty Gundam is a thing is because Hello Kitty is the fourth most grossing series in Japan.
This is the end. I won't let you bring the sky down.
That's like you have a product and you're teaming up with Walmart to get something to sell it. It's like, yeah, the reason why you did it is because it's Walmart.
You won't get away. It's here. Crush you.
Dragon Ball Z, Shonen Jump, and I forget what the last one was. Oh yeah, and did you guys see Horse Racing Exia? That was a thing.
I won't let you bring the sky down. Finish.
This is ugly.
I don't think Kamen Rider was that popular. I forget what the last one was.
I won't let you bring the sky down.
Strike Freedom still wins at beam spam, because technically the Zambia isn't beams, they're GM beams. But, the Strike has the sustained beams, whereas the Zambia doesn't. Or, the Zembia. Somebody told me how to say that correctly one time, I just don't remember. Yeah, there's, Japan's horse racing, thing teamed up with Gundam as well. So there's, like, Exia riding a horse.
I'm coming back now.
Oh, hey, Mage. There is a horse Gundam. That would be, Fuzikaze from G Gundam. Master Asia got his horse into a mobile suit to be a horse for his mobile suit.
Where's the enemy?
I know I need to be using the Psycho Gundam, but like I like the Goplant too much. It's like, oh hey, look, I fly.
In a city like this?
I should probably also finish up Bates at some point.
What is it?
If I have unlocked him. I don't know if I have or not.
Crush you.
But of course, everyone...
Doing?
Why do you have a...
You're not getting away.
Why do you have a bound dock on the Earth? What's wrong with you, Biren?
A mobile suit?
Yes, Nether Gundam is awesome, but you forget about, Fish Gundam, or the Danish Gundam. Also, the Zeus Gundam has a chariot. It's not pulled by anything, but it has a chariot. Yes. Oh, dude, in my MS Saga tabletop game, Neo Mexico and the Taco Bell Corporation were major power players in the pre-war world, and they're actually the reason why the Death Army got held off for a couple of months.
Anywhere. Why are you fighting?
It was great.
I'll kill anyone.
Yeah.
It's good.
Because Taco Bell, for some reason, saw the threat that was the Death Army first, and so they started fighting back before the rest of the people did. Also, hey Vex. We're accelerating that there new type research.
What is this enemy? This sensation is from an enemy?
Oh, I ran an MS Saga tabletop campaign a while ago, and I'm currently writing an IBO one, which I'm hoping to, you know, probably get running in about 13 days. Maybe. Yeah, basically. I also had a joke of, there's like a DC 20-inch check, like when you're standing in front of the Taco Bell, to whether you had to go and buy Taco Bell or not. Yep.
I won't let you
Tabletop RPG Gundam. I'm writing an IBO one right now, and then I played an MS Saga one for about a year,
back now.
a couple of months back. It ended, I want to say November? Or no, it was the end of January because of some real life stuff that had happened to me. No, it was on Roll20.
Wants to make the sky fall.
If I had the Gunpla to do it, I probably would do it with Gunpla. I know there's actually an officially licensed game that's coming out from a company that's working with Bandai about a tabletop game with Gunpla.
Don't bother begging for your life.
I don't know if I'll show it on the YouTubes or not. I'll ask the players if they want to. I wasn't planning on it, though.
I won't let you bring the sky down.
Yeah, it's really up to everyone else. I don't care one way or the other, but I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. Then again, I also used to play D&D before, like, you know, Critical Role and that kind of stuff got popular, and
This is the end.
the way Matt Mercer DMs annoys me, so I have bad feelings about it.
This is ugly.
Tyrion. Exclusively because you'd get the gun tank into a very bad position, and then just beat it to death. So they got stuck in an underground colony that happened to be run by Taco Bell because they found some Gundams on the inside behind a giant glass wall that they didn't have their mobile suits to crack, and all the grenades they had thrown at it didn't really help. So they had to go their way through the Taco Bell colony to try to get to the... It was Gundam 4 and Gundam 5, if you know what that is, on the other side of the wall. They also had encountered an AI that was running the place, and they tried to take the AI out and to put into a Tragos that they had captured a little while ago, so they could hang out with this AI and have a basically talking car. That was about the time we left, though. Also, one of my players had found the golden gun from GoldenEye and had shot the elevator that they were trying to use because the door wouldn't open. So, like, the door pops open, right? The elevator just falls straight down. It's like, you killed that thing. Yeah, the mobile, or the Gundams from that.
Rizamia unit launching.
It was a lot of fun. I really liked that campaign. I wanted to start it up recently, but the players didn't want to go back, so... That's why IBO is becoming a thing. But yeah, I'm planning the test session for probably the 28th. If everyone can make it, if not, some other time.
Say your prayer.
Yeah, Attack on Titan would kind of be unfair because it's like, oh hey, laser cannon. Plus, I don't think it'll ever happen because Tomino said some really bad things about the producers of Attack on Titan a while back, and I don't think they ever really looked eye to eye after that. But there was this big controversy in Japan because they marketed Attack on Titan to very early teenagers, like 12 or 13-year-olds. Because, yeah, it sells and it makes money, but that's not really the kind of content you should be putting in front of people at a questionable age like that. And a lot of people have problems with it. Like, I do too, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask about that, but it's really fucked up to do that to, like, little kids. Like, dude flat out gets eaten in the first, like, 4 pages. Yeah, I know Bandai did the same thing, but eventually they stopped, remember? And it was the 80s where, like, you know, videos of Vietnam were on TV all the time. Yeah, somebody in my chat was actually talking about running, like an Adipus game, or the Evangelion, Dark Heresy, Warhammer mod, or, modification for a game like that. I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff, though. I play more cinematic than I do challenging. Oh yeah, I definitely don't think they should be showing, Attack on Titan or Game of Thrones or any of that stuff to kids, but, I mean, I'm not a parent, so...
I'm coming back now.
Hey, we got a gray Boundock. This is just like the normal Boundock, except for it's gray.
Launching.
We're only gonna use this once because I don't like this unit, but could be fun.
Where's the enemy?
I believe we have to finish this up on Jared to get the true best ending, but we can always try with Rizamia.
Must defeat the Zeta.
What are you saying, Rosalie? You! Be strong.
I was like caught up on that gun for some reason and wasn't moving. It was weird.
He's good. Not at all. Four, stop!
You're in front of me, you cocky bastard!
Well, at least in my IBO game, everyone's gonna start out probably without mobile suits and definitely, or probably without mobile workers and definitely without mobile suits.
He's strong. I'm here. Open the cockpit. Get out of the psycho Gundam. Hurry!
I won't let you bring the sky down.
You! Don't get in my way.
Say your prayers. They're only toys.
Good move.
You won't get away.
Mobile suits are there. The players just won't start with them. They'll have to get them. Yeah, this is the bound dock. It's a thing.
There. I won't let you bring the sky down.
Oh yeah, if they play it right, they can start with mobile workers, which are those like car things that they had before pulling Barbie out of the power plant. No, he's talking about the thing I'm using right now, the bound dock. It has a giant skirt for when it transforms. I find that weird that travels under gravity. Like, this thing looks unaerodynamic as fuck.
I'm an ally! Ha, that was it?
No, it doesn't have micro MS in this.
I'm coming back now.
It'd be kind of cool if it did, but it doesn't.
Razamia unit launching.
Yeah. It is literally a giant block of metal.
I found you, AU.
But, you know, it flies on the, well, it has a Minovsky flight system, which means it doesn't really have to be aerodynamic at all because it doesn't really bother. All it does is create a giant cushion of Minovsky particles underneath it, and then from the cushion, it pushes itself forward. God damn. Can you guys stop falling on the ground so I can actually kill you? Kind of wish this wasn't all Rick Diaz's. They're more tanky than they need to be. It's kind of annoying.
I won't let you bring the sky down. I won't let you bring the sky down. Not yet.
Yeah. Only you'd, you know, attack before they hit me, Buren, instead of after. Whatever, man.
Say your prayers. I did it.
Yeah, Unicorn was an incredibly fast advancement of technology. You realize Psycho Frame went from being a thing that was theorized to being completely mastered in about 2.5 years, which they weren't at war. The Minovsky flight system is a way to abuse Minovsky particles into allowing terrestrial flight. It's how the white base or the Trojan horse was able to move on the planet. They miniaturized it enough for the Psycho Gundam as well. Yeah, technology was always advancing, but they weren't at war at the time. And technology expands a lot faster when you're at war than when you aren't. They were technically at peace, and there wasn't any major offensives. And they developed a military technology from basically 0 into 100 within 2 years. Guys, remember the moving... Oh god, it's this mission. I hate this one. So this is a Grublo. This is a sub. For some reason, this is in the game, and I don't know why. But it is. We get to use a sub.
The enemies arrived, but they're no match for me.
So we have to be careful not to hit the ships above, because they don't care.
This area.
Enemy reinforcements coming. Watch out.
Roger.
It doesn't have a Minovsky flight system, but it has a earlier version of it. It's different from the Federation one, though.
What? This is the end.
But it uses more terrestrial, like traditional kind of flight than the white base does, because the white base was like super unaerodynamic and just kind of did what it did. Whereas the Zanzibar actually had to keep pushing itself up. Yeah, this is a modification of the Big Row.
It won't let you bring the sky down.
Yeah,
Finish. That was it?
I wish I had the Volvaro. Like, I love that shit. It's one of my favorite mobile
This
suits.
is the end. Crush you.
Yeah, the melee is annoying as heck, too. Yeah, it's like the melee is like you're riding a sled. It's so weird. And yeah, I did more damage to him, but that's just because these missiles don't really aim.
That was it?
This is the end.
I do love that thing. Why Zeon planes and everything look so weird is because they didn't know air resistance was a thing, because it's not really a thing on colonies. So they designed everything without air resistance in mind. So they look good as spaceships, but as like planes, they don't really work.
Take that.
What are you doing?
Finish.
What are you doing?
Well, see how you make a plant or a sea in space is you get one of those
Won't let you
ammonia
bring the
ice.
sky down.
Excuse me. You get one of those ammonia ice asteroids, and you fly it into your colony, and you break off chunks. You slowly melt them down. You split off the water and the ammonia
Coming back now.
into its base materials. Also, my evasion rate was amazing on that one. And then you leave all the water on the planet while you dump all the ammonia out into space. Yeah, it's almost exactly the same stage for the off-orbit mission.
I'll kill anyone who wants to make the sky fall.
But God, I hate that stage. Like, it's just kind of forced on you, and it never makes sense why it's there.
The enemies arrived, but they're no match for me. Commander Buron!
Buron? Buron. Also,
Crush you.
Federation or AUG Zegox. No, not Boron. Buron. Like B-O-O. Yep. Hey, remember those captured AUG GOGs that had happened? Alright, for some reason I thought I was in the Gopland. I was like, ooh, perfect time to spin. Yeah, these are, so how the game does sides is the Federation and the AEUG are on one side, and the Titans and Zeon are on the other. So, what we're seeing is the Federation painting, the Federation colors for all the AEUG suits, or for all the Zeon suits. These are, like, captured by the Federation. Whereas, we are working for the Federation. And in this one, we're not assholes. Because we had the advanced development for new types. So, they are just, you know, terrorists, but of course, Federation doesn't care. We're evil because we have power. Yeah, so if you use a Titan suit as Zeon, they'll have the same coloration, but if you use it as the AUG, they'll use the captured coloration, which is really cool.
I won't let you bring the sky down.
But yeah, that is the Humrabi. Which, as far as I know, is a space-only suit, but it's not space-only in this game, apparently.
What are you doing?
Or, no,
Doing?
and it's Hamrabi, not Hambarabi.
What?
The correct way to say is Hambarabi.
I won't let you bring
I am the Titans right now. I am not Zeon. However, we are on the side of Zeon for reasons that only this game understands. God, I hate how chunky these boys are. It's like, hey, you need 2 combos to kill all these guys. They're not particularly hard to fight. It just takes a long time.
won't get away.
Yeah. We'll be doing Axis in a little bit, probably after this one. Whenever we get this ending completed. Oh yeah, the reason why the Earth Federation has so few aquatic suits is the Federation Navy knew that it was, by taking out Zeon remnants, it was actually making itself useless and getting its own funding cut. So instead of developing their own mobile suits, they squirreled away the money, and they made it so that the fighting field between them and the Zeon remnants was equal, so that they could continue to be a thing. That eventually fell apart when Bright had taken over the Southeast Asian portion of the Federation militia, which is where he is during Hathaway's Flash. Or not militia, but army. But that's why you'll also notice that a lot of like Zeon subcrews and everything were just allowed to leave at one point, because the the Federation Navy didn't care. It was cheaper to have like, you know, just the hardcore enemies raiding random ports to make it look like they had a job than it was them not having a job. Also, Gelgoog's really...
I won't let you bring the sky down. I'm an ally.
So it still has the Zulu shield instead of the normal GM shield, but it's painted red. Does this mean that they're using all, like, captured Zeon equipment from 7 years ago? Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a, the MS-18 Gasha was actually originally designed to be an aquatic suit, but because Zeon was getting pushed back into space, they remade the suit to work in space, and how they had changed it made it unable to be used underwater. So it was an aquatic suit that worked in space. That wasn't really an aquatic suit. Yeah. Alright, we got a bunch of children, so send them out in these captured suits. We'll use all of our traditional suits. We just happened to raid the, like, Zeon War Museum or something.
now.
Mhm. Is this the final battle? I hope it's the final battle.
I'll kill anyone who wants
Yeah,
to bring the sky
he's
down.
just a collector getting rid of all his Zeon memorabilia. Like, oh crap, the Titans are winning. All right, yeah, you rebels can have these.
I told you I had superior mobility.
Well done. Let's keep it going.
Roger. Truck, I won't let you bring the sky down.
So right now we're the Titans. We're fighting all of these old one-year war remnants that have surprisingly better armor than anything else in the era. We're also fighting some Gaufs, apparently. Oh, they're Federation-colored Gaufs, too.
It's you. There. That was it?
You fell for it.
Ah, damn.
Finish. I did it.
The translation on Crossrays is really weird. It's kind of hit or miss. Like, there'll be some where it's really good, and then others where it's completely weird. Like, it just doesn't make sense, or they used, like, a weird synonym that no English speaker would use. Oh, it depends on what you mean by Zaku. Do you mean the best possible Zaku, or do you mean, like, the Zaku 2? Because the Cosmic Era Zaku 2 is far and away better than the standard Zaku 2. But the Zaku 3, especially the Zaku 3 Kai, is much more powerful than even the best Zaku from Zaft.
Won't get away. Won't get away. I did it. There.
Yeah, if you want a completely arbitrary decision on that, I would say after about the Hyzak, the Cosmic Era Zaku is better up until the Zaku 3. So it's kind of the in-between between the Hyzak and the Zaku 3. Then yeah, UC has better Zakus. I'm a UC. I have some problems with Seed. I think there's some things that Seed did really well. And then there's some things I really don't like about Seed. But I like UC a lot better. Mainly just because UC goes into a lot of stuff and it's more expansive and interesting. Whereas with Seed, it's like,
I'm coming back now.
oh, hey. Yeah, Zaft is evil, except for they're kind of justified in what they did. Oh, thank God it was the last one. Weren't there other choices? With Rosamia, no. Not at all. I really like Correct Sentry because just like what you could do with it. Correct Sentry was CC or turn A. Basically, the apocalypse happened, and for some reason, a bunch of ancient people had buried a bunch of mobile suits so that they could fight back eventually, and they do, and it's a lot of fun.
Sarah launching.
Yeah, the how it fits mobile suits is kind of weird. It doesn't really have hangar bays, unless you assume half of the catapult's a hangar bay. And then the launch animation doesn't really make sense. But it's a copy of the white base, which basically had that kind of thing. The catapult was about a third of the leg, whereas the rest was cargo capacity, or was hangar capacity. But with C, the whole leg is a catapult, so where's it being stored? That weird, like, small junction?
We're within Von Braun City's airspace.
Yeah.
Send out Turbo Skier's mobile suit.
Long time ago, before the MS Saga game and before the IBO game, actually ran a turn A plus 20 game because I was like super enthused with the setting at the time. Yeah. I was like super into the setting at the time. Basically, it was from I want to say M thread, or it might have been a Space Battles thread. But it's basically, so the war with the Moon people is over. But you have Louisiana, which is basically the Midwest of the U.S., full of mobile suits, and a very weak neighbor, or a bunch of very weak neighbors that had all got attacked and destroyed by a superior enemy. What happens now? And so it takes place 20 years later, after basically most of the mount cycles have been discovered and people are building their own mobile suits because they got this massive technological advancement and they're still imperialistic. I think I had it set in Houston, which was which I thought had been New Orleans, but is actually, or I thought it had been Houston, but was actually New Orleans. She just happens to look like Diana. There's nothing really to it. Thanks, Yazan. That was appreciated. Yeah, there's nothing, we don't really know why that she does, but she does. So, it is how it is. But eventually they switch and, Kiel Hime becomes, the real leader, Diana. It's really good.
I'm returning now.
Hey! We got the Bell and Oak Shenanaham!
Launching.
The G project was the development of the Gundams for Gundam Seed.
I'm going.
It's basically a copy of Project V, except for a little bit different. Because 4 of the Gundams get stolen instead of 2 of them getting destroyed.
Our target is the Cubalid.
Well, not really destroyed, because the G3 was perfectly intact, but used as parts.
Come on.
Obviously, you're unaware of what this Cubalate can do.
God damn, I was drifting for a while there, just like not able to do anything.
Estimate me,
Incredible.
Project V was Project Victory from UC, where it's the project that developed the White Base, the Core Fighter, the Gundams, the Gun Tank, and, well, modernized the Gun Tank and Gun Cannon. Because that was, it was changed in lore that the Gun Tank and Gun Cannon had been a thing for years. The Federation just never improved it because they never needed to. But in Seed, all but one of the Gundams get captured because one of the engineers, or one of the Federation spies, who happens to be an engineer at the time, is there and shoots Rusty, or, yeah, it was Rusty who is going to be the pilot, and then Miguel gets mad at him, not the other way around. So, one of the Gundams never gets captured, but the other 4 do. There is, however, a kind of side story thing where the Strike gets captured, but the Aegis doesn't, and yeah, it's real weird.
I won't let you.
It wasn't stolen, it was, like, shared with Meganrote, which Meganrote just happened to use it to make their own stuff at the exact same time as everyone else did. Oh, hey, Katz is here. Yeah.
I'm returning now.
Well, because when you name a weird project like that, you have to get it through the board. And the board doesn't care if you're trying to be secretive about it. They're gonna know what it's called. But I do like the idea of Operation Cooking Tacos, where you tell everyone it's a giant cookout for the troops, when in fact it's actually developing giant mobile suit or giant death weapons.
Hearts, come back.
I haven't actually got the new DLC stuff yet. I haven't played it since then. Well, I played it a little bit to finish up Wing, but I haven't played since then. I think I'm going to finish up Endless Waltz tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I get some time. God damn.
Don't do it!
Die, you pests!
Fucking hell. I really hate chasing people down like that. But hey, Emma's here. Oh no, I killed cats. Or cots, as this one calls him.
You think a mere commoner could destroy me? You fools!
Yeah, Shirako, I did, in fact. For some reason, I'm in love with you, though, so I'll accept the fact that you're an asshole.
I'm sorry, Master Paptimus.
You can buy it from eBay is probably the only place you can buy it these days. Yeah, it is a PS2 game, so... I know before it was, like, stupid expensive. I don't know about these days, though. It's been a while since I've had to buy it. But I got it from a dude on eBay for, like, $100, I think. The only problem is it came without the manual, and I was super pissed.
What are you doing? You're mine!
He doesn't do anything and just fucks shit up. And a lot of people blame him for the ending, for what had happened at the ending. I don't really hate cats, he just kind of exists. But when they make a serious scene like that, when I honestly don't really care, it's just fun to make fun of it.
What are you doing?
I mean, both PS2s work with this game. Though I would suggest one of the fat ones because you can mod it now and get better graphics and stuff. I used to do that for fun.
I'm returning now.
So if you guys don't know, Chan actually, her original character wasn't in the script. What Chan was she was the stand-in for Beltor Chica from Zeta, because Bandai wouldn't allow a pregnant woman in there. Well, wouldn't allow a previous character from a show.
I'll crush them. I will win for him.
Gundam would beat BattleTech just because BattleTech is both smaller and much lighter armored. That being said, BattleTech has FTL travel, where Gundam doesn't, so they're probably a lot more numerous. But the super heavies in BattleTech are lighter than Zaku's.
That's your way. Always out of sight.
Some of the tanks, though, would be kind of cool. Oh, Macross hands down. You can't beat Missile Swarm.
I can't forgive him, even if it costs my body and soul. He has to be punished. He has to be.
What's going on with him?
Don't you understand? Monsters like him.
Though originally, you know, there was plans to make Gundam lead into Macross,
Everyone will understand.
but that eventually got turned down because they couldn't buy the rights to Macross, and then they had a bunch of references to it that they had to pull out. It was really funny. But you'll see a couple of suits will even be called UN Spacey.
He's good.
Alright, see ya, Sucker Punch. Hey, Harmony Gold needs those rights to support their gold mines. Thank you. How else will they be able to afford their lives of luxury? They earned those rights perfectly fine in the late 90s, and they have kept them because they keep releasing more Harmony Gold merchandise. That totally has happened in the past 10 years. If you guys don't know, in America, the rights to Macross are owned by a company called Harmony Gold, which isn't even a media company. They run gold mines in South Africa. And they just got sued in Europe because they owned the rights but hadn't put anything out in like 20 years. And so there's kind of a joke that it's like, yeah, Harmony Gold totally owns the right. They need the money from Recross to run their gold mines, which are failing. Because they never actually found any gold, and they're only really iron mines at this point. But they also ran a very successful Kickstarter for a continuation series of Robotech, which was what they did. And it just happened to disappear and never do anything. As most Kickstarters do. She will never see Shiraka realize his ambition. However, weren't there other choices? Well, they didn't really. They renewed them. Bandai didn't really have the, or not Bandai. I forgot what the company's name was, but they didn't really get a choice. They were just kind of forced to renew them. Is that all of or yeah, that was all of Sarah. Well, I think it's about time we move over to. Should we do Zeon or the AEUG next? Now that we got Earth-based AEUG wiped out and Karaba wiped out. And then we could do that with, I believe we need to do it with Jared to get the perfect ending with Jared. But would you guys want to see the AEUG or Zeon next? Now that it's getting about that time. More of those points for the gallery that I'm totally going to use one of these days. One day I'll be able to just click a trigger and switch to the other campaign. It'll be great. But that is not the case. So, do we want to, like, finish up the last of the Black Tri-Stars, make them survive? Do we want to make Dozel pursue the Trojan Horse? We could do the Axis reinforcements route. Yeah, we finished up Char, so that's good. Or do we want to do, like, the Haman Axis arrives early route? Dozaru no Tachi? Mass production, Big Zom isn't in the game, sadly. Big Zom is, though. Dozaru. Alright, we'll do Dozaru, I guess.
You will not defeat me.
So we're teaming up with Garma. So Char got the data on the white base by defeating them at Luna 2 and surviving.
I'm launching.
And so now we've teamed up with Garma, who's leading the chase. And we brought a Big Zom to the planet for reasons. And you see that big tray in there? We're pretty sure that is Rebels inside of it. Also, for some reason, Garma's in an Adzom. Wow.
Sadly, we're going to abandon this battle.
Yeah, we got crushed. Fuck.
I'm launching now. Take over.
So the thing is this is completely uncanon. You play through the standard route and you save the person's life, and that's how you get to certain different situations. Like, you can not take out 4 at Kilimanjaro as Camille, and then you can have 4 join the AEUG. And stuff like that. That's one of the fun parts about this game, is the what if. Also, thanks game, I wanted to, fire the main cannon into a rock instead of the big tray that I'm targeting. As you guys can probably guess, Big Zom isn't very useful, but it's fun. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff you do in this is you play the small side characters and you help them survive the war. So like in this one, well, we just got a GOG. So we had Dozel survive Solomon, and then he got to the end of the war but had to flee to Axis. Or we had Mikuve survive the end of the war and flee to Axis. Lala escapes to Axis, and that's what brings to the reinforcements arriving early. So what we did over here is we got the data on Operation V during Luna 2 by defeating the Gundam and taking all the combat data we could from it, which led us to a much more advanced route and actually being able to track the Trojan horse. Dozel Zaku's not in the game. Garma only has has char suits. Like, all of Garma's stuff is just char suits, because his custom suits aren't in the game either. None of the side story material is, besides the Ground Gundam and Ground GM, as far as I can tell. We do have the Zaku 2 char custom if we wanted, though. Or a random gal for GOG.
I'm launching now. Take over.
That would be the Gaia Gundam. Stella's mobile suit. Yeah, it turns into a dog. It's the Gaia Gundam. Hey, Soldier of Sorrow. So now we're assaulting, you know, Jaburo with the Big Zom, as everyone always wished. And yes, that... Oh my god, this is great. We're so big, we're, like, outside of the water. Oh, I think you... So, she technically has two mobile suits, or, two mobile armors. There's the Destroy Gundam and then the Gaia Gundam. Yeah, the Destroy Gundam is the seed version of Big Zom, basically. Though you could say the Psycho Gundam as well. They're basically the same thing, damn it. Yeah, this is the aquatic version of Big Zom. It sits above the surface of the water, so it's fine. It's like having a floating fleet. Also, this frickin' Zegok literally is committing suicide. What the hell? So we don't technically have a eye field in this game, I don't think. Or we might, I don't remember. It's something weird like that. The Absolus is not in this game, no. None of the side story material, except for the Ground Gundam and the Ground GM, are in this. And even then, like, Shiro and them aren't actually in the game. They're just references. Oh my god. Either Zegok, get out of my way, or die. Like, this is getting stupid. Yeah, there was a GameCube version of this. I always forget that exists, though. There's also a GameCube version of Ace Pilot. Or there's a GameCube game called Ace Pilot, which is like Encounters in Space, just slightly different. I really like that one. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, so that Zegok is Garma. Yeah. Well, so what had happened is by the time they had Federation versus Zeon in English, this game had already come out. Same with AEUG versus Titans. Well, this game covers AEUG versus Titans. Literally everything that happened in this game is part of this game. So why should they translate that one too and publish it? Yep, Garma just died. Find a frickin' Lee. After he spent a good 5 minutes running into my feet. this thing is like massive tank controls. Because like if I hold back, it goes forward. If I hold left, it goes forward. If I hold right, it goes forward. So it's just like, oh, how can I step on you today? Because I can't aim my guns that direction. Yes, Garma is useless in these campaigns. Like, he tries to stand at your side and fight anyone you're fighting, but it just results in him getting stepped on by Big Zom. Yeah, no tow missiles. I wish, but no. Yeah, my main gun is, like, stupid inaccurate. Come on, just need 2 more kills. Oh my god. Fuck this game. Alright, fine. I'm turning around. Yeah, I know the main gun is literally designed to take out ships, but like, holy crap, this is getting annoying as piss. Like, fucking hell. Oh my god.
Let's go home now.
Fuck this thing. Yeah, I took more damage from that GM and that gun cannon than I did from Amuro.
I'm launching now. Take over. I'm launching. I'm launching.
Well, yeah, wait, do you think we're gonna put a hole through the thing and then just let the normal mobile suits in? No, we're here to wreck shit, man. Oh god, guys, Kai's here. He told me not to get cocky. I need to be worried. Oh wait, never mind. Oh, damn. Nice one, Kai.
Impossible.
Yeah. So the way we got this into Jaburo was literally we used the main cannon to dig a hole deep enough. Or wide enough, I should say. For it to fit in. How we're gonna get out, we don't know. We hadn't thought that far, but we'll get to it eventually. We'll probably have to take it apart in pieces and build like a very elaborate levee system. There's also begs the question how I'm not digging into the ground, because I weigh like 20,000 tons.
Prepared for your punishment.
I'm pretty sure I outrank you, Garma. He keeps saying I need to prepare for my punishment every time I hit him, but I'm pretty sure I outrank you. You're a colonel, I'm a general. Because we go by ground ranks in the Zeon Navy. I'm also supposed to be protecting Garma, god damn it. Like, quite literally, he suicides himself into me. I'm not kidding. Alright, now we're defending Solomon again. For some reason.
You will not defeat me!
Hey, Darian.
I'm launching.
It seems we have
That
to reassess
goddamn
our
cheater.
Federation overseas.
He's a copycat.
No way I'm gonna be the laughing stock of all of Zeon.
But guys, we finally done it. We mass-produced Big Zom. What do they say about monarchies besides they're technically ineffective if they take command of things? Don't worry, that's why we brought a second Big Zom. Hey, he said the name of the podcast. Hey, if you guys haven't listened to it, the Fetty Scum podcast is actually really good. It's a TRPG podcast about some Federation pilots. They're really cool dudes. I don't think AMAC's here, but their DM hangs out on occasion. I think he's at work, though. Hey, Hato. Come here for a second. Well, anti-beam coating can reduce beam damage by about 30%. So if you can reflect some of the energy of the beams off and armor it enough, technically it can tank a couple of shots. So it's a good in-between if you can't replace the armor or make it better. But it's, in the end, it's not very effective unless you do a lot of it. They don't have anti-beam coating yet, though. That's a Zeta thing. But, of course, it turns out to be mostly ineffective, so they abandoned the project. But that's the reason the Type 100 or the Hyako Shiki is gold. I do love, occasionally they'll tank me stepping on their shield. So I just imagine, like, the foot goes down on the mobile suit, and then it raises its shield, and its shield just gets smashed in its place. You know what? I'm gonna ignore Hayato. I don't care enough. Really? Really? God damn you.
Sadly, we're going to abandon this battlefield.
Alright, they do put anti-beam coating on most mobile suits. Well, some mobile suits. But it gets expensive because covering more than a shield might cover maybe 10 to 12% of the entirety of the mobile suit.
It seems we have to reassess our plan.
So you have to use much less paint than you would if you painted the whole mobile suit. Plus, it's better to defend with a shield than it is to defend with the body anyway, because the body is covering some expensive stuff, versus the shield, which is only just a shield. God damn. I really should be using a normal mobile suit for this, but what's the fun in that? I'm gonna step on a ball, and never mind. Ugh. Seriously, Galgoog, why are you having problems with a ball? Theoretically, it'd be someone like Johnny Ridden. What the hell, man? Balls were escape pods. For for ships, basically. And they were given a gun to help cover the retreat, if they need to retreat. If they got attacked by enemies. But mostly the use of balls was just because the Federation needed mobile suits. Or at least something to fight against Zeon mobile suits, because ships weren't really working. So they put guns on them. Because at least before Origins, mobile suits were incredibly rare and the Federation didn't have any. Due to Origins and the movies and all that kind of stuff, they kind of did, so they make less sense, but... Shiro used a Type K. Which was one of them orange balls. And yeah, that was a converted worker block, I guess you would call it. I don't know. Hayato sounds like he's 10. I know he's short, but damn. Seriously, what is with these Gelgoog pilots? Then again, Garmo was doing the same thing earlier. Alright, I might actually have to use a mobile suit on this one, because Garma keeps dying. If I didn't have to protect Garma, it'd be fine. He was in front of me, though, and he's like, from 6 o'clock. Oh my god, guys, it's a ball. It's not too difficult to take out. I've killed, like, 3 of them with Big Zom. Oh my god. Alright, cool. You guys deal with that ball. I'll take out this GM, which is 100 times more combat savvy than a ball. Yeah, really, Hayato's 25 and just pretending to be 10? Even though, you know, he's like 17 or whatever. Or 15. Just barely, fuck. Garmo was worse in Big Zom than he was with his mobile suit. I didn't have to babysit him nearly as much, though. He does keep trying to commit suicide. It's kind of annoying. Well, I mean, Zeon was drafting people as young as 9. The Federation was drafting people at 14.
I'm launching. Final victory will be ours. See? Once the big Zom is mass-produced, we'll put an end to the Federation in no time.
How can I convey the extent of this devastating loss to my sister?
Is that all you've got? No way I'm gonna be the laughing stock of all of Zeon.
Well, I mean, if they could give everyone a mobile suit, they probably would have.
Got you!
Sadly, they didn't have that kind of production.
Go down.
Unless you go by Origin, and then they would have had that kind of production in like 2 years' time. Because holy fuck. Yeah, somebody did the math, and it's like, so every mobile suit weighs about 60 tons, right? And they produce like 6 or 7 million of them. So the amount of, they would basically be producing a colony or two worth of mobile suits in 2 months, which most colonies took about 30 years. Oh, hey, we're fighting Kai, and also a GM who's doing infinitely better than Kai. And that GM was a hero. I don't care what anyone says. That GM was a hero. And Kai's an asshole. Running away from me. Knowing my only weakness. Thanks, Zaku. I needed that cracker in the back. Hey, GMs have been my greatest adversaries in this thing all today.
Prepared for your punishment.
Go down.
Then again, they're using a Zaku and a Gelgoog and can't take out a single GM. Thanks, Zaku. So if I had the choice, I'd probably actually be in a GM, because Big Zom's destined to fail. Yeah? Remember that Slugger managed to take out the eye field by ramming into it. A beam saber could probably destroy the eye field just as easily as the core booster did. Once you know its weakness, it's not an issue. It's just finding out what its weakness is the issue. Alright, can you guys get this GM who's behind me? Seriously? Like, this is getting stupid. You guys, it's a GM. I've killed 7 of them today. You don't have to kamikaze to destroy the eye field. You have to know it's there. Slugger knew it was there, and that was the biggest weakness of Big Zom. No, we don't have tow missiles in the game. We have this gun, we have this gun, and we have the main gun. Also running into people. I also just killed the Zaku too, which makes me immensely happy. Oh my god. If I had tow missiles, I'd be happy. I do not have tow missiles. If I had anything that was homing, I would be happy, because this thing is a freaking tank. Well, if you put the eye field on the inside of Big Zom, it would protect the inside from beams, not the outside. There's two reasons why this is a thing. Because you have to have an easy way for the protagonist to defeat the boss, and two, it's kind of bullshit. But basically how the lore is the eye field is a projector. It doesn't magically just connect to the side of the mobile suit. It projects it out around the mobile suit in kind of a wave. So if it was on the inside, it would just be broadcasting it to the people on the inside of Big Zom. It'd also be, you know, massively irradiating people. But that is what it is. Eye field is basically a beam protection field in Gundam. It absorbs the lattice work that makes up the beam, and thus, because it absorbs that, the energy of the beam just kind of gets redirected everywhere. But hey, Dozel escaped to Axis. We win! Yay! I mean, you can strap the eye field on almost anything. The Unicorn even has an eye field the size of a wing, or has an eye field on its shield at one point. Yeah, the eye field cannon's a thing on the Siskide, or one of the Mono Eye Gundam mobile suits. Yeah, it's pretty much a Super Robot Wars thing. Oh, right, this is the one where you have to defend the DOP. I forgot about that, or the Dobai. This is really weird after using Big Zom for so long. No, it has non-SD forms, but the game that it's in is SD, yes. There was a full-on manga about it, though, so it has full-size versions. That, of course, that manga is never going to be translated. Because, well, Zeonic's the only one who does real Gundam translations these days, and he doesn't care about that kind of stuff.
Gundam, please hang on.
We're gonna launch the jet stream attack, even though one of us is dead already. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, there's also the Mono Eyes manga, or magazine, I should say. It's for the Wonder Swan in the PS4 now. I have the Wonder Swan version and the PS4 version, but they're both in Japanese, so. If I could emulate my Wonder Swan for more than about, like, 4 or 5 minutes, I probably would play it. I do read Japanese. There's literally the reason why I learned was so I could play Geiren's Greed. Mono Eye Gundam, it's a series that was from Bandai from 1995. It's basically an alternate side story to Zeta, where the Titans developed 2 more Gundams, the Siskade and I forget what the original one was called. And eventually the pilot of this Escade ends up defecting to the AEUG, and it has an I-field launcher. And then his best friend, who was the Titans pilot, stays part of the Titans, and they fight. Eventually, the girl, the love interest of the series, eventually talks the main dude into defecting from the Titans, except for that brings the end boss, which I forget exactly what was the reason for it, but like had time and space and shit like contorting around it. It's real weird. Alright, I forgot I had the shiny button. Yeah, it only had a single camera, so it was a mono eye similar to Zeon mobile suits. You could get it in Crossrays if you pre-ordered it or if you buy it now. And you got the mobile suit at least. They didn't have the game. Nothing's really redone the game recently. Though they did port it to the PS4, which was pretty cool.
Returning to base.
No, you see, the narrative Gundam showed that the unicorn could send people back in time. That's different. Holy fuck, a Zoc. We got a GOG in the other one. Gundam NT or Gundam Narrative. It's the movie that came out recently. Basically, it said that the unicorn sent a mobile suit back in time before its engine had been assembled. It wasn't actually part of the story, but it's mentioned during very early on, and it was kind of a like, really, you see, I thought you were, you know, reality-based, but now time travel. That being said, the ending of that story also involves new types throwing fireballs at each other, so it's not really the most based in reality UC series. It's something I would expect to see out of, like, 00. I would love another Battle Assault game, especially if it was by the Tekken guys, or hell, even like the Blaze Blue guys or something. Yeah, 00 didn't have time travel, but if 00 had time travel, I wouldn't be surprised. Whereas with UC, I have a problem with them having time travel. Yeah, basically. That being said, you know, 00 also had magical aliens that are made of liquid metal that talk with new type magic and turn into flowers. So it's also not the most grounded series. Also, teleportation. That's a thing. The only two times that aliens have been a thing in Gundam is the 00 movie Awakened Trailblazer and Turn A. Because the Turn X was made by some alien civilization to defeat the Turn A. Which the Turn X then, in turn, was studied and developed into the Turn A, which it was built to design. However, we don't know if that's the colony of the colony of people that Judah took off the planet, and they're just humans who look like aliens, or if they're actually aliens, or if that's even true at all, because that came from some Gunpla manuals. But with 00, yeah, they're freaking aliens, man. And for some reason, 00 isn't the end of the series, because 00 Turn A comes after 00, so for whatever reason, the ELS left Earth. Yeah, well, so Seed does have space whales, and that is a very important thing, because they found space whales on Jupiter, which in turn Aeolia also found from 00. But the thing is I don't imagine those were actually space whales. I think that was just somebody fucking with somebody, and then the turn A came around and made it weird. Oh, the UE weren't even from Jupiter. They were from Mars. Or at least I think they were from Mars. But yeah, everyone thought they were aliens, but in fact they were just humans that were pissed off cannibals, basically.
Where is the Fetty mobile suit?
The closest thing to an alien that Age has is Sid, and Sid is basically a self-learning mobile armor that was designed to keep the archive of all the ancient technology hidden as long as possible. But the Age system had gotten out somehow, and that created the series that almost got Sid destroyed, and then the Martians the ability to kill all humans again. I still say that Wing is one step off from being IBO, because they had so many mobile dolls. If one of them had achieved sentience, it would have been real bad. Rick Doms are the same thing as the normal Dom, except for they're space capable. So, because we're still on the Earth, if we had upgraded to a Rick Dom, we wouldn't be able to use it. We do, however, get one by the time we go into space, which will probably be after this. Oh my god. Target the GM, please. Yeah, the Planet Defensor annoys the hell out of me. Like, screw that shit. It's just like, hey, you have to melee these guys. Technically the Phoenix Gundam is sentient, but not really. Because it has a new type soul in there, the machine isn't actually sentient. It's just somebody's soul's controlling the thing. So it depends on which, like, to what degree do you consider sentient more than it's sentient. Yeah, it has Rika's soul. Or Rosa. It has Johan's friend's soul inside of it. You know, the one that they sold out to the Titans. For money and profit. Hey, Ghost could always pilot mobile suits. It's been a thing since 1997. Ah, goddammit. Fuck you, man. Of course you took that on the shield instead of dying. Ah, damn it. Didn't see the freeway was there. Oh, yeah. No, so that was, a couple of mobile suits in Wing had the exam system in it. Or not the exam system, the zero system. Which basically picked out the best possible outcome for whatever you were about to do. So self-destructing was the best possible outcome. So it allowed Quattro to leave to, again, turn around and rebuild the Sandrock because it knew that was going to happen. Wing had the zero system, which was the fucking exam system. Don't give me that it's not the same thing, Darian. You know it is. But yeah, now we're upgraded to a Rick Dom because, you know, now we're in space. Because Solomon isn't considered space, but this one is. And if you seen G-Unit, they do actually have an exam system. I forget what exactly it's called, though. They do have basically an exam system in Wing as well. It's like the unit system or something like that. It's real weird. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna call her Rita because I don't remember her name because it's been a while since I've watched narrative. But basically, Rita's soul is inside the Phoenix. That is what's been running it for so long. It's not piloting itself or a ghost or sentient. Rita's in it. It's the same way that, you know, the Sazabi had Char's soul imprinted on it. If the Sazabi was still intact, it probably could have moved. But it didn't. That being said, there are various Gundams that are sentient in UC. Like the S. It's so scary that the S Gundam literally developed feelings. Yeah, Marion Welsh is the girl inside the exam system. Oh, there's also Moon Gundam, which is also completely sentient. And actually starts killing humans at one point because it realizes humans are the problem. It's great. Amuro's Zeta wasn't in Unicorn. The Delta Plus was in it, but that's not a Zeta at all. Yeah, the Moon Gundam, not the Gundam from Moon Gundam. But, the Moon Gundam was a 70-meter tall mobile suit developed on the moon in a scenario where Amuro never existed. And it was basically the Idleon of Gundam. It's definitely not canon. Not to be confused with the Idleon manga in Gundam. I'm a friend. Yeah, so the Moon Gundam is the weirdest thing because, so we don't know how it happens yet because it hasn't happened, but at some point it's gonna rip off the head of a mobile suit and stick itself on and take over. Yeah, the Alice is the S Gundam. No, well, the original thing of the Moon Gundam was actually a variation on the Mark II, or the Mark III, I think, actually. And its head gets cut off. Well, the body of the prototype to the Sazabi has Psychoframe on it, and it resonates with the head for reasons we haven't quite figured out yet. We'll find out in the next volume that's coming out, and I want to say June. So it resonates with the head. The head somehow moves itself onto it and sticks itself to the body, and, like, repairs itself. And I really want to know how. But we haven't got there yet. One day. One day we'll get there. So I believe we finished all of the 1 Year War now. Yep, I think this is it. Yeah, Garma's there. Mikuve survived. Though he only got the bad ending. Might have to rectify that. So, should we use the Cubile, or... Oh, no, we have to use the Mark II. So, Lala, Haman, or Char?
New types shouldn't be destroying each other.
Yeah, it's piloted by a kid named Yuda from Moon. But it hasn't happened yet, at least in the stuff we've seen so far.
Fight on my own.
Volume 5 comes out in, I want to say, 3 months? I already have pre-ordered a copy, so when it does come out, I'll tell you what happens.
What are you doing?
One more.
No, I wish I was in the QLA. I thought I was, but for some reason I stole a Mark II. I don't know why Lala's here. You'd think that Char would be the one stealing it, but Lala did for reasons. Oh yeah, what you're talking about is the Gump, and it survives to Crossbone Ghost, where after it uses the Mega Particle Cannon in its head again, it blows up. But it's piloted by Gary Stokes, who's basically Judo, who didn't leave to the colony for some reason. The Gump is in fact a thing, though. And we also know that Gary Stokes has kids, and then grandkids, but we don't know with who. I, of course, always go with the idea that, you know, Judah and Rue broke up a month after coming to Jupiter because they realized they couldn't stand each other. And then Judah gets with that Peru clone he saves, but that's just me. Yeah, Yeah, I know how we got the Mark II. But I'm saying, why is Lala doing it, not Char? Yeah, we sold Jared's. Emma is supposed to surrender, but she won't. And then we just took out Capricorns. So, you joke about clones and nanomachines, but those are things in Crossbone. The main bad guy is literally a clone of himself with half of his body. That is a thing. And we're gonna do this with Char just because it makes more sense.
And may the glory of victory be yours.
Yeah, well, we can't we have to do this as Haman too. But she unlocked a Zeong.
Alright, we'll capture the Gundam MK2.
Notice how the voice actor changes? Quattro's voice actor and Char's voice actor are different.
He's good. Come on, what are you doing?
No, there's no complete Zeong in the game. There are no side story stuff in the game except for the Ground GM and Ground Gundam. This game does not have a very good choice of mobile suits. Why the voice actors changed? I've got no idea. And I'll have you know, I heard Bruce Wayne talk to Batman at one point. Commissioner was there and everything. Which, that scene is amazing, by the way. I do love how the Mark II still has its hand curled when you go to... or, like, it's shielding itself when you take out its shield. Well, if you go by the original version of the Zeong, which was the Kikaroga, the perfect Zeong is like a bad imitation of what the Kikaroga was supposed to be. But for the perfect Zeong, that's just what the show made it. Because with the Zeong, they honestly didn't think they were going to get another season or anything like that, so they just kind of threw it together. But originally, Char was going to get something that kind of looked like the Garibaldi. It would have looked just like an evil Zaku, or evil Gundam. But 7 episodes got cut out of the final series, so it is what it is. Alright, and after this, we're going to start with the AEUG.
Let's go.
I'm just trying to get as many of these out of the way as we can.
For the restoration of the zombie family. All hands, follow me.
I'm pretty sure we're getting backed up by MASH right now, too.
Enemy reinforcements. Be careful.
Yeah, so that was a Quattro voice line. You can tell because it sounds completely different.
What are you doing? You've always been quite the actor.
Seema didn't become the leader of the Titans. She became a captain in the Titans, and then leaves after like a year or something like that. To never be seen again, though we kind of hope she's just happy somewhere. But yeah, that was one of the better storylines from Ace Mode. Because like it's like, oh, Lucille, or God, what's his English name? The Gundam 4 pilot? Like, the Gundam 4 pilot's one is just so disappointing. It's like, oh yeah, he survives during the Titans and then dies. Like, why? I mean, what did Seema ever do that was wrong? Except for get back at the people who fucked her over.
This is the end for you, hypocrite.
Yeah, Johnny Ridden has his own manga. Like, 3, in fact. Though the first 2 are kind of garbage. The Return of Johnny Ridden's pretty fun.
You've always been quite the actor.
Yeah, is Shin or Johnny Ridden in Origins?
The mission was a success.
Alright. So we only have the Garma one left to do. Yeah, I guess I'll do this one real quick and then we'll finish up some more AUG storylines. And yeah, we can do about 45 minutes of that and then I need to go.
All hands launching.
I have something to do at 8, so I have to kind of have to be careful with time today.
That's no mobile suit. That's
So Johnny Ridden is technically the leader of the Oldsmobile army on Mars, which is Mars Zeon. That being said, we never see him. We just know that his name is just listed somewhere. So it could be somebody taking Johnny Ridden's name, it could be a different person named Johnny Ridden, or it could be Johnny Ridden. We really don't know. But if it is him, then he got crushed when Olympus Mons crashed down on the Grand Zom. Yeah, Shin is the confirmed pilot of the Yellow Zeta, and Johnny Ridden was supposed to be the confirmed pilot of the Red Zeta, except for he got drunk and was in the, he was in the tank for, I think, 2 weeks or something during the Evolve episode. And that's why New Type Girl got to take his place. But yeah, Johnny Ridden didn't form that Zeon anyway. Actually, a clone of, what's-her-face, of Minerva Zabi did. Alice Zabi is so freaking weird. Like, the entirety of all of Rezeon is play clones. Also, Mancha's part of it, which is kind of weird. There is a Borg cube in Gundam Evolve. I'm not kidding. It's a Borg cube powered by new types.
all right. Garma unit returning to base.
Yeah, that Yagan pilot was you. The guy who grabs the dude falling down. Hey, Garma actually got the Mark II. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, that is you. All of Blue Destiny is actually a flashback to what had happened during that. And the Axis shock is actually making him remember it, because he finally gets to thank Maria for what she had done, and she thanks him for what he had done, and he gets to be happy with his life, you know, a few seconds before he atomizes. Though he survives, if you get the perfect ending of the game. I mean, that's also the perfect ending cutscene for the game, for the Blue Destiny game for the Saturn. Yeah, it does. It really, really likes clones. It's kind of weird. So we finished up the perfect ending with Camille, got our double Zeta and everything. Should we move on to Quattro, or should we save Apolly? Should we end Roberto? Should we do Emma? Or, you know, finish up Amuro? We finished up Fa and Cats already. Or should we finally go and, you know, save Ryu's life? Or save Hayato's life? No, he, in the novel of CCA, he flat out dies. As far as the plans for encounters in space, maybe once I'm done with this, maybe something else. I won't say no. I don't mind playing encounters in space. I'm bad at it, but it could be fun.
Okay, launching.
And the RX-78 was disassembled for spare parts in the anime. In the side story, not counting Origins, it fought a Dom prototype, which was a Zaku version of a Dom, or a Zaku turned into a Dom, in Transylvania, and it mostly got destroyed in the battle. But the pilot survived, along with the Zeon pilot's girlfriend, who I think they get together afterwards. But in Origins, over 20 Gundam prototypes are built, or RX-78-1s. And I think 17 or something like that got destroyed during Kilimanjaro. They apparently never got the combat data for them, though, and Zeon never recovered anything left over from them. But we don't ask these questions from Origin, because Origin is what Origin is. I don't actually know if War in the Pocket has a novel. I'll read it. I'll go pick up a copy and read it if they do, because I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm curious as to what UC2 is, but since Banana's in NT, he's probably going to be in UC2. I know people say it's like, oh, it was just a cameo, it's not going to mean anything. He's going to be in freaking UC2, man. Hey, everyone but but Uso dies in Victory. Like, Uso literally walks 3 days with his mom's head in his pilot helmet. Like, that's some fucked up shit, man. Thanks, Amuro. Like, flat out, point blank to the back. Oh, is that got him? Banadger's name, at least, is close enough to banana. Or some people, even when the translation of the novel came out but the series hadn't been announced yet, called him Banaja Man, which sounds a lot like Banana Man. So it's mostly just a meme. I mean, I wouldn't mind a sequel to G Reco, to be honest.
Returning to base.
Oh, so Thunderbolt, the manga just ended. Literally just ended. So we don't know if they're going to end it or not,
Launching.
or if they're going to do a season 3 or not. But it just ended, so we'll probably find out next year or the year after.
You Zeon scum.
Because what a lot of people don't take into account is Thunderbolt had a massive hiatus because of the writer's tendinitis, and he couldn't draw. So there was a 1.5 year period where nothing was being shown. And so when Bandit Flower came out, it was the same chapter as when the original Thunderbolt anime had ended. So we can hope for a season 3, but we don't know. So, a little bit of spoilers here for Thunderbolt, but so Daryl got the mass-produced Psycho Zaku, and then you found out that they were producing Big Zoms, because of course they fucking were, and they were quite literally mass-producing Big Zoms. And one of the final fights is them fighting a Big Zom. Hey, Fallout plus Gundam was my MS Saga series. I would love that. Yeah, like, the apocalypse happens and the only reason mobile suits are still there is the matter replicators are still running for some people. We just crushed Rumble Raw and his squad in like 10 seconds.
Want to beat that guy?
Yeah. So in my MS Saga game, the players never got there, but I actually had a Grand Zom in Texas that was going around to all the ancient military bases, just mining the things up and converting it all into material to keep going. And it was being run by one of the generals of the Death Army. I believe it was a Psycho Zaku, actually, too. That was the fun part.
Okay, next. Returning to base.
Now, it is the point of no return. We have to destroy the Gallop
Launching.
by suiciding in a core fighter.
You Zeon scum.
Yeah, no, it was the... Oh, Oliver is actually still alive. If you read Liberation, he's even working for the Delaz fleet for some reason. Yeah, him and Cadillac are still together, too. They give Gato the Alpha Zero. Or not Alpha Zero, the newest CL. I don't know why I get those two mixed up. But if you like 0083, I would suggest reading Liberation. It's like the Origins version of 0083. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think Hero is still alive as well. You know, the co-pilot dude who nearly got killed all those times. Yeah, Terry's also one of the backup fighters at the base in Australia. Well, remember, Garen Screwed is dead as a series. Nobody wants it anymore. That's what, Shin proved. No one's interested. To Americans, it's still interesting because we like it, but in Japan, it's dead. And when would Bandai care what we thought? Well, see, if you guys really want more, what you need to do is need to learn Japanese, move to Japan, become Japanese citizens, and then tell Bandai. God, that was a shitstorm.
Returning to base.
Yep. Ryu is a new type for shooting down a fast-moving enemy that wasn't actually too difficult.
Okay, launching.
But yes, Ryu is alive. He doesn't die during the white base stuff.
Leave it to me.
Well, yeah, like most Gundam games, if they were to port it or translate it at all, English fans buy that shit up. And I think they realize that. They realized that with New Gundam Breaker. But then when New Gundam Breaker kind of panned everywhere, they kind of got scared now. It's a bit weird. And then hopefully, eventually, they'll realize that New Gundam Breaker was just trash. Or maybe they already know it, and they just haven't proved it yet, but Cross-Rays was a great example. Cross-Rays was literally 18th best-selling game on Steam in November. Pantsu, go to special thanks on the Gundam Translation Project. I have been in it since October. I am the reason why all those cutscenes are translated. I also did the help menus. If you go hang out on the strategy game subreddit too. Garen's Grade 5 for the PSP is being translated. It's using texture replacement because the coding is really dumb, but it works. But I am in the special thanks for that. I did a lot of work on that, damn it. And Manny's not here, he could back me up, but... I am not part of Zeonic. I know BJ, he's cool, but... I'm not part of it, no. I was, So, the guy behind Zeonic did some really, cringy stuff. Way back in the day. Like, real cringe. And I kind of distanced myself away from them as far as I could. I still talk to him a little bit. Like, I'm the reason why he bought a new keyboard on Twitter. Because I used to make fun of him for it. And I pay him to translate a couple of things. Like, I have part of the translation, or I'm basically paying for the Gundam X prequel translation, and I have part of Advance of Zeon translated by him because of it. That's just kind of sitting on my hard drive because he doesn't want to put it out for some reason. But once he has some more time, I'm going to pay him to do some more translations. Because I have no problems. It's blue because it's blue. The game just kind of made it blue. It's supposed to be a Mark II beam saber, but it just kind of does it. I mean, the Reapers were already defeated by a weird ghost child. So, close enough to new types anyway, isn't it? But let's be honest here, The Reapers would probably have new type. Would probably have the Moonlight Butterfly.
Try to fool with me. Try to fool with me. Too slow. Go down.
My beam rifle charges less than these shoulder cannons do. It's like, why am I even using them? Oh, so you mean new Gundam Breaker. Though, I will say there's a Garma visual novel thing that somebody's working on. And then, there is a visual novel somewhere out in the internet that's just Char. Dating versions of Char. It's amazing.
Okay, launching.
I don't know if it was ever finished or not, though. The last time I saw it was in, like, 2007.
Leave it to me. Go down.
There it is.
Baby.
It was much before, Full Frontal was a thing. Like 5 or 6 years. Oh, this music is definitely copyright. The first episode of the series got 17 claims. But there's a thing about my channel. I don't make money off of it. Like, hands down, so copyright music or not, I don't really care. The only videos I make money on right now are that one PC version of New Gundam Breaker because it was sponsored, and then the Crossrays videos. I also technically am, well, not really sponsored, but I got a review copy of, so I can monetize those. But yeah, that's Bandai hating me is a great. It is basically it, yeah. I don't know if you were there for the Delaw's Fleet days, but there was literally like multiple months during there where I could have lost everything. I don't know if it's Sunrise itself. I think it's mostly Bandai. But Sunrise might also hate me. I've never really had any interaction with them specifically. Yeah, Amuro, but you keep jumping in front of my shots.
Returning to base.
God, I love how the G-Bull modifier is so good. Or, like, so high, but, like, the G-Bull is so good.
Okay, launching.
Mm-hmm. Cutscenes got me in trouble. Music got me in trouble.
You Zeon scum.
A section where I was just talking and there was no music in the background got claimed. Like, it was all bad. But, I believe episode 8 or 9 of the Delaw's Fleet I put up, and then that day I got 17 copyrights because of it.
What are you doing? Okay, X. And go down. Okay, X.
Oh yeah, I used the crap out of the GPO2 in that campaign. It was great. Nuclear laser beams every day of the week. But yeah, Solomon Express is fun. Many, many bombs, many, many nukes. All over the place. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about The unicorn game, that was so good. I got a legitimate cease and desist from that. Like, they sent the letter to my house and everything. God, I forgot about that. I spent, like, literally 3 days translating 5 cutscenes from that, like, word for word, and I spent hours doing that. And then I came home from work, like, 2 or 3 days later, and I just had a letter from Bandai, or, from Japan, from Bandai, that's like, oh yeah, if you don't stop, we'll sue you. It's like, oh. No, Unicorn won't win against Herne. Yeah, the Unicorn game for the PS3. You'll notice there's still I think an episode of it up on my channel. There were originally 5, but that didn't happen. Yeah, basically. Indefinite. One day, maybe. I mean, like, if I was bigger on Twitch than I was on YouTube, I'd probably just stream it there just to rub it in their face, and then delete the VODs afterwards, but... Ironically, that's one of the videos that gets the most views on my channel, just because people think it's the anime. And then I always get downvoted, or, I always get dislikes from people in, Japan for that, because it's not copyrighted, but then it's just a stupid American playing a Japanese game.
You Zeon scum!
Yep. I was also playing it. There's also a dark period in my life where I was paying Bandai to translate their games. That did happen.
See? Once the big Zom is mass produced, we'll put an end to the
Oh, frick, I can't actually hit Big Zom.
I'm launching now. Take over.
Fuck.
Hey, pal, watch who you're shooting. That thing's not gonna hurt anyone else. Hey, Gundam, take care of him for me.
Wait, why I was paying Bandai? Because I liked what I was doing, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I thought other people did too. But as it turns out, it didn't matter. But how many of you guys are here because of Garen's greed? Like, as much as I don't really like the series anymore and it annoys me, like, a lot of my viewers are based off of that. Some people from Crossrace, some from Genesis, some from other games entirely, but mostly Garen's greed. Yeah, well, he didn't get a Gundam, but it's one of the less used variations of the Wing. But yeah, it's one of the first Gundam, non-Gundam crossovers for Sunrise IP. Oh yeah, Darian, I know you came from my first series of MS Saga. That was a long time ago. I think it was like episode 8 or 7 or something like that. Wait, Polar mentioned to me? Well, except for that one drunk stream I had where I was very Irish. That was a thing. Ah, no, not Big Zom. The Gelgoog, damn it.
It'll take a miracle for us to make it through this one.
I don't plan on going MIA, but I know exactly why Lokinar went MIA.
Mine. Returning to base.
A lot of the reason why I didn't play these games earlier on my channel was because Lokinar was playing them. Like, I didn't want to be a... I thought he did a great job. Just, like, legitimately. Is this any different? I don't remember.
Okay, launching.
Yeah. Like, I legitimately thought Lokinar was doing a great job, and I didn't need to play these old games. But then he disappeared and never came back. But I know why he did it. You know,
Please hang on.
when I got a cease and desist, I was like, okay, Bandai, let's work something out. And then he was like, yeah, I don't want to get sued. Alright, I might restart. This thing's absolute garbage. Oh god, God, what was it? God... Darian, was it like God Inuyasha Gaming or something like that? So when I started playing MS Saga Raid the first time, way back in 2013, I used to talk to somebody and I was like helping him out and like giving him advice, and then one of his friends like got onto his account and started getting mad at me because what I was telling him to do with the game, because I wasn't letting him figure it out himself. It was so weird.
Too slow. Not yet. Not yet. There it is.
Like, I hadn't thought about that in years. Just like one of the first people I met on YouTube. Like, I don't know if it was actually them or their friend or what. But it just like freaked the fuck out because I was like, oh, you don't need this mobile suit. You could just save the ECAP for another suit down the line because the Nemo was better or something like that. Yeah, this thing is absolute garbage. But yeah, and like I started talking to him and it was just like, really? Really? I don't even know what to say about this anymore.
Where'd you get Lala involved, Char? You know she wasn't meant to be a warrior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm a new type as well.
Polar's a cool dude. I just wish we, like... I used to hang out with him a lot, but now it's like I don't really even talk to him anymore. Because he plays, like, when I have to go to sleep because I have to work in the morning.
Too slow.
But drunk Irish ranting streams were the best.
Try to fool with me. Try to fool with me.
Oh, nice. I saw him playing Alien Isolation, but I didn't know if he'd just quit with Under Rail or what.
There it is.
He's good.
Got you.
Try to fool with me.
Yeah. After they started adding in all the series, like... Gundam Online just kind of became weird. Like, I don't even play it anymore.
to make it through this one.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I'm gonna make it through this one, but I'm gonna try, damn it. Yeah, that'll happen. Honestly, like, maybe 50% of the problems I see on computers are because your drivers are out of date, and it's because nothing forces you to update your drivers. But drivers are constantly being updated. The only reason I don't cross-stream to Twitch is because I don't have it set up anymore. The service I used to do it doesn't exist. It got shut down, and the only thing I can find is a restream, and I don't really like restream. Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen. Alright, gun cannon time. Or actually Jeep Bull, because Jeep Bull's fun.
Okay, launching.
But if I do a restream, the high or the lowest I can get the delay is about 15 seconds.
You Zeon scum.
That too. I really don't want to be popular. I like the size I'm at. But, I mean, I could if I wanted to set it up. Yeah, that's... one of the things I actually like about Twitch is it's like, yeah, copyright, not a big deal. You just get muted, it's fine. So this isn't really really well known anymore, but I used to talk about it a lot. I have a marketing degree in new type media. I'm quite literally a professional person on Twitch, and I worked for a MCM. Hey, Deathbringer, I worked for an MCM like long time ago. Maker, if you'd heard about it, so like Polaris and all that kind of stuff. But I had got fired due to something stupid. That kind of was my fault, kind of wasn't, but I shouldn't have been doing it at the time. And I shouldn't have been told to do it. And, like, that shit got me so messed up. Like, I know how much you make on YouTube. I know all the shit you get from making money on YouTube. I know how to deal with the shit you get from making money on YouTube. I have no desire to make money on YouTube. I do this as a hobby, and I enjoy my real job, too. And let's be real here, what I do for my real job, I probably make about the same amount as a channel that has 1 million subscribers, with like 100,000 regular views. And I work 8 to 5, and half of that is downtime for the most part, unless we're stupid busy, which we have been recently, but that's just corporate being stupid. And after 5, I rarely have to deal with anything else. Like, it just works out so much better. God damn. Super rich, no. Happily medium, middle class, yes. Are you using standard Windows RDP? Are you using Chrome RDP? Or are you using a third-party view client like TeamViewer or RealDesk, GoTo, Assist, or Zoho? Because, yeah, that's a bit different if you're not used to using it, but super nice if you know how to. I use TeamViewer for most things these days. Like, I have one computer that I do everything on. I do eat frozen burritos. They are delicious. I had those for breakfast. And middle class isn't the most corrupt. It has the most corruptible influences, but it is what it is. Like, Oh, dude, Deathringer. Dude got stabbed for toilet paper outside of my local Walmart. Toilet paper. Like, I'm not kidding, this real bad. Though, apparently not as bad as, what's that thing called? Bakersfield. Like, I heard that's real bad. People are hoarding toilet paper for some reason. I don't know why. I went to the store today and in the morning and like it literally took me like 45 minutes to buy some potatoes. It was bad. Do we want to finish up Ryu just to finish up the 1 year war arc or Hayato? Or do we want to do something else? Oh. I technically have 6 minutes, so what final 2 stages should we do? Do we want to do we want to actually like do more of Char, or should we actually do a mission as Emma for once? Yeah. Yeah, all the 1 year war missions are basically copies, like I think this one has the shotgun bazooka, so I'll go with the rifle.
Emma, ready to go. An enemy force has been deployed out here.
Yeah, now Ryu survived, and then we just need Hayato to survive.
Don't get in my way.
Sadly, I think that's the end of Ryo's storyline, so saving him really doesn't do anything. But it makes us feel good.
I did it. Wreck him.
God, it's nice having a real gun again.
I did it.
Come at me, Shirako.
I had no idea the Titans were developing this kind of mobile armor. That organization is doing more than just mopping up the remnants of the Zombie.
Gemma! It's dangerous!
That must be the Gundam Mark II.
G-Savior in this game? No.
Not much of an improvement.
If G-Savior was in this game, it'd be a lot weirder. I did play the G-Savior game.
Not about to let myself
Also got yelled at my neighbor for getting drunk during that last mission. That was fun, though. I've already beat the G-Savior game. The game is on YouTube if you want to watch it. I did drink heavily while playing it, though, and I kind of got really mad. It was fun.
What are you doing? I did it. Emma unit returning.
I do say the G-Savior game's actually fun. Except for the last stage being a bit bullshit. Like, it's a good time.
Emma, ready to go. Where's the enemy?
Oh, dude, like, if I could get War for Earth running, I'll do it. I know there's the Japanese version. Does anyone know if there was a PlayStation 1 version of the English version? As far as DS games for Gundam go, there is one full-sized Gundam or 00 Gundam game that's pretty good, but a lot of people say it gets bullshit late game, and there's really no point in playing it late game. Yeah, if there's an English version of War for Earth for the PlayStation, I'll play it.
I'll always be there to
I don't have a PC 95 on hand, and if I go and get a license key and make a virtual machine, it'll lag a bit, which isn't really all that good. But I technically have Hyper-V on my computer. I could run one, or like 30, because this is actually a virtual machine technically. But I'm using a peer-to-peer head client for it, so you can't really tell.
What are you doing? Nothing. Damn you. Ah! You.
Hey, Chin is the greatest American hero, thank you. No, if it was William Shatner, it'd be good. It's just some weird black dude, or some really weird fat dude. And also, Kai is a random black dude. That is a thing as well. Though his name's Duke in that one, so I'll accept it.
Not getting away. Enemy unit destroyed.
You could technically emulate a Windows 95 machine, but I can run a virtual machine that'll do the same thing and less overhead and easier to set up because it's Windows 95. Yeah. I have the Japanese version of the PS1 game. That's why I was asking if there was an English version of it, because if there is, I can totally play that. I have a PlayStation 1 that I can record in HD if I need to, and I can emulate it. I was Garma in the game? I don't remember. Like, the middle part just kind of... After you climb all over the Gao, I don't remember what's going on.
We have landed in Von Braun City. Unless you immediately halt your attack and accept the ceasefire, we shall destroy this city completely. I repeat.
All I see is the Rick Diaz, like, flying over me.
Emma unit returning.
Hey, we got a Super Gundam.
Emma, ready to go.
Oh yeah, the costuming for them was actually really good, including the background.
Where's the enemy?
Like, so this is a Super Gundam. This is what happens when Emma and Kat's combined bodies.
When the mission is over, Lieutenant.
And we've already apparently been hit on by Hankin. That's happened. So we have big laser cannon, and then shoulder missiles. We can also hit people with the gun, which I don't mind, is pretty funny.
Don't think that one temperamental pilot will alter the mission.
Yes, his name is Chin in the Japanese version, not Char. He's a different person. Thank you.
What?
Got you.
You ran me through your armor. What? What? I can't see it. Incredible. How did he know the weak point of this machine?
Giant laser cannon is the weak point of every machine, thank you.
Enemy unit destroyed. How's this? I'm out.
Hey, would you guys be interested in me, like, streaming, Super Robot Wars J?
Not bad.
I was talking about it on a YouTube comment earlier,
Not bad.
and I was thinking about maybe I'll play it again, and I might stream it or something.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Like, maybe if not Super Robot Wars J, maybe one of the,
What is
maybe
yours
X or
doing?
T.
It's too late to change the direction of this mission.
That's the Game Boy one. Or Game Boy Advance one.
Emma unit returning.
Oh, well, Negative Neo, you'll probably finish it way before I would. Because I only stream for like 2 hours a day, or 2 hours a week, or maybe a bit more if I'm interested in the game.
Emma unit launching.
And if, you know, other people can make it too. So it's like,
Where's the enemy?
you'll probably be finished with it about a month or two before I would, because it's, I'd get like a mission a day, a mission a week kind of thing.
Countdown.
I also have X and V on my computer,
To all the gunners.
Roger.
and then I have a physical copy of T as well.
I did it.
Are there any Super Robot Wars games on the PS3?
Enemy unit destroyed.
Also, I just knocked the fuck out of him. Fall. Nice. I mean, if you guys want, I can play Rune Factory on stream. I like that game.
Barzam team, let's go. We'll move in
Is it any good?
when fire dies down. The Barzams will take the rest.
Roger that, Lieutenant Yazan. As always, you're taking us straight to the middle of battle, Lieutenant Yazan.
Maybe I might play some Overworld. I haven't really thought about it in a very long time.
Undershoot that one down.
Asshole.
Gotcha.
Just die!
Out of my way.
Alright, Super Gundam, not the solution for this one, if I have to say. Fun, though.
Finish!
Enemy unit destroyed! This is nothing. This is nothing.
What? You gotcha.
I have a copy of Z1 and Z2, I believe. There's one for the PS2 that I have a copy of that's like supposedly stupid rare and very expensive that I got literally from like a charity shop for $10. I don't remember which one it was though. But like everyone was telling me how rare it was, and it was like, oh, I just kind of bought this. The guy at the charity shop knew I liked Gundam, so he'd pick up all the Gundam stuff and sell it to me all at once for a pretty good price. I'm cool with English or Japanese. It doesn't affect me either way.
The weak point of this machine.
Emma unit returning.
I don't know how I got through that one, by the way. Also, why did I get a Rick Diaz black here? Like, that's completely random. I already have the Mark II.
Emma unit launching. An enemy force has been deployed out here.
Yeah, I kind of have a thing with the Super Robot Wars wiki. Is like, I don't look at it until I've already beat the stage. Because it like tells you all the secrets and everything and how you get the secrets. But I find that makes the game less fun. But then people end up telling me what the secrets are anyway, so I kind of just need to get over that, I think.
Cuts! Quick! Get away! I can't hold it!
Like, so I played, Super Robot Wars V on release, right? And no, the first, yeah, it was V. The first one to come out in English on the PS4. Like, I played it on release, I got it early and everything. And, like, literally within 3 hours of me putting out the video, I had the entirety of the story spoiled for me. Which kind of killed the game for me. I mean, I have a copy of Neo. I did translate the first, like, 5 missions. I remember people got really pissed because I didn't know how the game worked before I started translating. It's like, kind of don't really understand the reason why I'm translating this, do you? But I just won't translate anymore. Good on you. Yeah, I need a I need the normal Mark II for this. If I didn't have cats, I could do this with the Super Gundam.
Can't be destroyed.
Would you guys want to see Neo? Though I really shouldn't be asking that because most people would be like, sure. It didn't really help.
I'm ejecting!
Yeah, I need the normal one.
Captain, I'm sorry.
Hey, Hankin's already dead. Don't worry about it.
Ammo unit launching.
Yeah, I know most people are going to tell me that. It's like, yeah, sure, why not?
An enemy force has been deployed out here.
Die, Shirako!
Cuts, don't do it!
I don't really have the time to translate anymore, but I guess I theoretically could try. Like, it would be very long between episodes, though, if I did do the translations. Yeah. At one point, I was actually thinking about doing, like, once a month I would, you know, do an episode of a certain game and translate it, but if it took more than, like, a year for the game, it really wouldn't work out very well.
Run away.
So with the translation, I did the bad ending first, and then when I figured out how to play, I also recorded the good ending, or the good point of the first stage. So I have I have the save files for both of them.
What are you doing?
Enemy unit destroyed. Enemy unit destroyed.
Oh yeah, I know. So what I was talking about was actually playing the game, and then I would translate it afterwards. So then people could, you could either watch the stream as it came out, or watch the translated version of the stream.
Enemy unit destroyed. I did it.
Yeah, a quart of milk is a bit much. But I'm also lactose intolerant, so I can't really talk. All I know is that would probably kill me.
I can't be destroyed. You're finished.
Yes. You know, stream Unicorn, get my channel taken down, it'll be fine, right? Or I could be like Jink and just have like Jeek the Collector 16 or whatever it is now.
Ammo unit returning.
Hey, we got the Nemo. Literally right before the final battle. So I'm in the northern part, so when the apocalypse happens, I'm where everyone runs to. But yeah, it's not too bad. Like, I can still go out and walk and still see people on the street. They just give you a dirty look, and, you know, as long as I don't go buy toilet paper or anything in multiples of 4, I should be fine.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yeah, like, people are hoarding potatoes here. Like, no joke, freaking potatoes.
Enemy unit destroyed.
So I went, when I was at the grocery store, I started joking around about leprechauns and how, you know, secretly the coronavirus was caused by a bunch of leprechauns going around looking for their potatoes. And I got some lady really mad at me for doing that. It was funny. Because, you know, I was being racist because she was Irish. Oh, yeah, I rigged up the car bomb into her potato maker instead of her car. I thought it would work faster, and, you know, it fucking did, man. That was more Geordie than it was Irish. Which is kind of weird, because I generally do a bad Geordie. Geordie being an ethnic group in North England. We don't talk about Geordies, though. They're weird. Not as bad as Doric, but still pretty weird. But in the true Irish fashion, you have to make fun of everything about yourself and everything about other people. Because if you get mad at anything, you're an idiot. Yeah, so I went to the store earlier, right, to buy soda and to buy potatoes. That was it. Like, that was all I was going to buy. The potato aisle was, or the potato section was completely empty. The rest of the fruits and vegetables were all there. I didn't check the frozen items, but I probably should have. It's like, holy crap, what are people doing? Like, hoarding toilet paper and potatoes?
Didn't you hear Kotz's voice a little while ago? Kotz? What happened to Kotz?
Well, Darian,
He's
if
dead.
you're telling me to get drunk, it's not yet 5 o'clock yet. Oh, no, it is 5 o'clock. Okay, time to start drinking.
Don't tell me you didn't feel something.
You know the rule, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so the only time you can't drink is 4:55 while you get ready to drink again.
And when those
Oh, dude, that's fucked up. I understand, like, you know, if you're gonna hoard anything, hoard food for your baby, but,
I don't think anyone
like,
will shed a
shit,
tear for
dude.
you when you're gone.
Like, you're trading other people's kids for yours. What the fuck?
This is the way I've chosen to live my life.
Oh, yeah, one of my friends lives up near San Francisco, right? He tweeted about it yesterday. He's like, yes, I went to the grocery store, and the only thing left in the, frozen pizza section was vegetarian pizzas. This just proves that Americans are more scared of eating vegetables than they are of the coronavirus. Yes, but Darian, you have so much toilet paper. In the post-apocalyptic world, you'll be a king.
Enemy unit destroyed. This is nothing. Get lost. This is nothing. I can still fight.
This is war. Weirdly enough, that Nemo saved me, because I would have hit her away, and then I would have had to do that again. Versus me getting hit by that Nemo led me to start my combo again. Lost my shield, though.
Emma unit returning.
Oh, yeah, so toilet paper factories are actually bumping up production to almost be 24 hours now. Like, it's crazy. Determination and justice had won the war, but an all-out war against Axis has begun. The pages of the Universal Century tell a violent story, but this tale is not etched in stone. Is it possible to alter these outcomes? The future is in your hands. Yes. Yay, Emma is victorious. Is that the end of the Emma story? Oh my god, that was the end of the Emma story. Just survive. Nothing special. We will unlock Titans Emma eventually. Or more stuff for Titans Emma. But folks, I think that is that. My voice is starting to get scratchy, and I need to leave for something 15 minutes ago, as is tradition with these streams. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, you should like. If you didn't, you should dislike. We'll be back next week for some more. We might stream something different sometime this week when I get some time. Might do some more of the tabletop. I don't know. I'm gearing up to bring that out, so I don't know if any more of the making stuff is gonna happen. I might actually stream the tabletop, but that's a bit different. I'll talk to people about it though. Yeah, so I will see you all later, I guess. Only thing left to do is Hayato, and then we'll be done with the 1 year war, and then we can finally, finish Quattro's story, which hasn't happened yet. Anyway though, folks, before I get distracted, good night.